AOC strafes AOC. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, from 1942, 1944, about 70% of Munich was flattened by Allied aerial attacks. The devastation was breathtaking. The old city was left smoldering. But last week in Munich, we saw a different type of obliteration. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez carpet-bombed herself just by speaking.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is of course a very long-standing policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. And we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation.
Okay. Now, that reminded me of a high school student who did none of the work and then, when called on, tries to kind of buffalo her way or his way through a question, let's say about the Industrial Revolution.
Okay. The Industrial Revolution, to me, is just like a story I know called The Puppy Who Lost His Way. The world was changing, and the puppy was getting bigger. So you see, the puppy was like industry.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Now, didn't you feel that way watching AOC in Munich? But this is funny in the movies, but it's not so funny in real life when decisions matter. But it took this Munich trip for most of America to realize that AOC didn't do the reading. Now, why? Because she's never been challenged. Now, as they did with Kamala Harris, the press spent years protecting AOC. She catapulted her way to political stardom by acing Instagram and TikTok. But then by cocooning her, the media didn't really do her any favors because now everyone knows she's failing, not only geopolitics, but economics too.
So when you run for president, are you going to impose a wealth tax or a billionaire's tax?
I don't think that I don't think that anyone, and that we don't have to wait for any one president to impose a wealth tax. I think that it needs to be done expeditiously.
Expeditiously. It's a big word. Now, every day is like a final exam when you're on the international stage, or really the national stage, it should be, because you either know it or you don't. Now, imagine a debate between her and Marco Rubio, because when he's asked questions, he can actually answer them with nuance and facts.
There will be, in about 2 months' time, a summit meeting between President Trump and President Xi Jinping. Give us your expectation.
Because we're two large countries with huge global interests, our national interests will often not align. Their national interest and ours will not align, and we owe it to the world to try to manage those as best we can, obviously avoiding conflict, both economic and worse. We have to have a relationship with China, always understanding that nothing that we agree to could come at the expense of our national interest.
Exactly. He laid it out perfectly. Or imagine AOC debating Vance.
At this point, how confident are you in going the diplomatic route?
The president's told his entire senior team that we should be trying to cut a deal that ensures the Iranians don't have a nuclear weapon. But if we can't cut that deal, then there's another option on the table. So I think the president's going to continue to preserve his options. He's going to have a lot of options because we have the most powerful military in the world. But until the president tells us to stop, we're going to engage in these conversations and try to reach a good outcome through negotiation.
Meanwhile, the Democrats' primary queenmaker, AOC, couldn't master basic sixth-grade geography when talking about Maduro being arrested by the U.S. in Venezuela.
He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator.
Below the equator. Time to study a map, AOC. That can be confusing, the equator, north, south. Now, the posts reacting to this on X have been absolutely hilarious. Our friend Nick Sorter posted, "None of Venezuela is south of the equator. Please run in 2028, AOC." Jason Jones said, in AOC's defense, if you turn the map upside down, Venezuela is below the equator. Paul Sizepula posted, AOC is below intelligent. Oh, that's me. But as we always suspected, her base of knowledge is very thin. She's very charismatic. She seems quite fun. But if you want to be a real influencer and not just a TikTok influencer, you have to do real homework on the issues. You need to study. Then you need to think. And then you need to study more. But she never did. Because who wants to study? It's no fun. So what does a damsel in distress do when she's in trouble? She runs to the New York Times for a bailout. She told them, look, she didn't go to Munich because she's running for president at all. She went because she's sounding the alarm. She's worried about runaway inequality and far-right populist movements. Yeah, right. Look, they've run cover for her for so long at the New York Times, so why stop now? But the Democrats' bench we see here is very, very shallow. Remember, she was a bright light. Meanwhile, the Republicans, with Trump in office, man, they've assembled a line of impressive, brilliant thinkers who work hard, know a lot, and study when they need to know more. They're innovative thinkers. And they're the only real champions of the middle class that AOC only pretends to care about. But for now, you can cross AOC off the list for 2028. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.